right, community, welcome. It's the David Washington Show. Senator Katie Britt of Alabama. Let's go.
Alabama Senator Katie Britt gave the Republican rebuttal to President Biden's State of the Union address. She's a first-term senator who, at 42 years old, is the youngest Republican woman ever to serve in the U.S. Senate. In her remarks, she was critical of the Biden administration's handling of the border and pushed back on the president's economic agenda and foreign policy.
Good evening, America. My name is Katie Britt, and I have the honor of serving the people of the great state of Alabama in the United States Senate. However, that's not the job that matters most. I am a proud wife and mom of two school-aged kids. My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway are why I ran for the Senate. I'm worried about their future and the future of children in every corner of our nation. And that's why I invited you into our home tonight. Like so many families across America, my husband Wesley and I just watched President Biden's State of the Union address from our living room. And what we saw was the performance of a permanent politician who has actually been in office for longer than I've been alive. One thing was quite clear, though. President Biden just doesn't get it. He's out of touch. Under his administration, families are worse off, our communities are less safe, and our country is less secure. I just wish he understood what real families are facing around kitchen tables just like this one. You know, this is where our family has tough conversations. It's where we make hard decisions. It's where we share the good, the bad, and the ugly of our days. It's where we laugh together, and it's where we hold each other's hands and pray for God's guidance.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I just have to say something positive. This is important that she talks about those kitchen table issues. So let's hear what those kitchen table issues are, because as we say here at J&W, it's those kitchen table issues that matter the most to families, to voters. Let's go.
And many nights, to be honest, it's where Wesley and I worry. I know we're not alone. And so tonight, the American family needs to have a tough conversation, because the truth is, we're all worried about the future of our nation.
Sure.
The country we know and love seems to be slipping away, and it feels like the next generation will have fewer opportunities and less freedoms than we did. I worry my own children may not even get a shot at living their American dreams. My American dream allowed me, the daughter of two small business owners from rural Enterprise, Alabama, to be elected to the United States Senate at the age of 40. Growing up, sweeping the floor at my dad's hardware store and cleaning the bathroom at my mom's dance studio, I never could have imagined what my story would entail. To think about what the American dream can do across just one generation, in just one lifetime, it's truly breathtaking. But right now, the American dream has turned into a nightmare for so many families. The true, unvarnished state of our union begins and ends with this. Our families are hurting. Our country can do better. And you don't have to look any further than the crisis at our southern border to see it. President Biden inherited the most secure border of all time. But minutes after taking office, he suspended all deportations, he halted construction of the border wall, and he announced a plan to give amnesty to millions. We know that President Biden didn't just create this border crisis. He invited it with 94 executive actions in his first 100 days. When I took office, I took a different approach. I traveled to the Del Rio sector of Texas. That's where I spoke to a woman who shared her story with me. She had been sex trafficked by the cartels starting at the age of 12. She told me not just that she was raped every day, but how many times a day she was raped. The cartels put her on a mattress in a shoebox of a room, and they sent men through that door over and over again.
Okay. Looks like we're going to be starting and stopping this rebuttal. This is my second time um, watching this, and it seems like it's even more cringe. But let's get back to the immigration issue. I believe there was a bipartisan effort, a bill, an actual legislative action that President Biden stated that he would sign, given the authority to stop what's happening at our borders. You just need the legal justification and the law passed by Congress. And I believe Senator Britt and her colleagues in the House of Representatives and her colleagues in the Senate, and I'm talking about her Republican colleagues, said no because their Lord and Master, former President Donald J. Trump, told them not to support the legislation. So a bipartisan effort to address this matter in a legal way, giving the president the power to address this issue that the good senator from Alabama and many Republicans are hooting and hollering about. Republicans decide to say no because Donald told them to. And also this story about this woman being raped at the by the cartels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's been about maybe 2 weeks since the State of the Union address, and that story has been debunked, as stated by the good senator from Alabama, Senator Katie Britt. Didn't you think she'll be fact checked? Didn't you think that would happen, Katie? But moving on, there's so much I can say in just that little bit, but let's move on.
For hours and hours on end. We wouldn't be okay with this happening in a third world country. This is the United States of America, and it is past time, in my opinion, that we start acting like it. President Biden's border policies are a disgrace. This crisis is despicable. And the truth is, it is almost entirely preventable. From fentanyl poisonings to horrific murders, there are empty chairs tonight at kitchen tables.
All right, let's talk about kitchen table issues.
Because of President Biden's senseless border policies. Just think about Laken Riley. In my neighboring state of Georgia, this beautiful 22-year-old nursing student went out on a jog one morning, but she never got the opportunity.
Okay, so we stop again. I don't know what to say. kitchen table issues. Let's just trigger some emotions. I get that, but at the rebuttal to the State of the Union, Jesus, Lord help America, help Katie Britt.
To return home. She was brutally murdered by one of the millions of illegal border crossers President Biden chose to release into our homeland. Y'all, as a mom, I can't quit thinking about this. I mean, this could have been my daughter. This could have been yours. And tonight, President Biden finally said her name. But he refused to take responsibility for his own actions. Mr. President, enough is enough. Innocent Americans are dying, and you only have yourself to blame.
Okay, the theatrics here is a little bit over the top. This is a little bit over the top. You would think that the Republicans will come back with a much more positive, inspirational message. This woman is doom and gloom, and this is really sad to see. And the first time I watched this, I did not have my earbuds on, but I do now, and I can hear her breathing very heavy. It's like, Senator, chill. Let's just have a conversation with America. Just have a conversation. Let's go back to our kitchen table issues. You have probably a better chance of getting hit by lightning on a sunny day than being murdered. And that's hyperbole also, but good Senator, please simmer down now. Just simmer down.
Fulfill your oath of office. Reverse your policies. End this crisis and stop the suffering.
Watching this is
sadly, we know that
suffering.
President Biden's failures don't stop there. His reckless spending dug our economy into a hole and sent the cost of living through the roof. We have the worst inflation in 40 years and the highest credit card debt in our nation's history. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Hardworking families are struggling to make ends meet today. And with soaring mortgage rates and sky-high childcare costs, they're also struggling to how to plan for tomorrow.
That's capitalism.
The American people are scraping by, while President Biden proudly proclaims that Bidenomics is working. Goodness, y'all. Bless his heart.
Okay. That part is disrespectful and ignorant. For those of you who don't know, bless your heart here in the South means go fuck yourself. So for the good Senator Katie Britt to state that on national television, the disrespect, the other stuff, okay, the vitriol leading to this, the disrespect is ignorant. And this is where you lose, those well-intentioned, well-informed, or halfway decent informed, or curious voters who just aren't too sure. But they pay attention. They listen. They're watching. They're listening for a reason. They just want to know. And then you pull this shit. Real classy, Senator Britt. Real classy.
Know better.
Yeah, do better.
I'll never forget stopping at a gas station in Chilton County one evening. The gentleman working the counter told me that after retiring, he had to pick up a job in his 70s so that he didn't have to choose between going hungry or going without his medication.
I don't want to retire.
He said, I did everything right.
I like
did
working.
everything I was told to do. I worked hard. I saved. I was responsible. He's not alone. I hear similar concerns from fellow parents, whether I am walking with my friends or whether I'm at my kids' games. But let's be honest, it's been a minute since Joe Biden pumped gas, ran a carpool, or even pushed a grocery cart. Meanwhile, the rest of us see our dollar and we know it doesn't go as far. We see it every day. And despite what he tells you, our communities are not safer. For years, the left has coddled criminals and defunded the police.
Not true.
All while letting repeat offenders walk free. The result is tragic, but foreseeable. From our small towns to America's most iconic city streets, life is getting more and more dangerous. And unfortunately, President Biden's weakness isn't just hurting families here at home. He is making us a punchline on the world stage. Look, where I'm from, your word is your bond. But for 3 years, the president has demonstrated that America's word doesn't mean what it used to.
Well, Britt, looking at what happened on Saturday Night Live, and I'm not really a big fan of watching it anymore. And Scarlett Johansson's interpretation of your State of the Union rebuttal. I think you may want to think twice about saying that Joe Biden is the ridicule of the world. You may want to check out that video. Maybe I'll share it in the link. But carry on. Good Senator from Alabama, Katie Britt.
From abandoning our allies in his disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Now that's on you guys.
Desperately pushing another dangerous deal with Iran. President Biden has failed. We've become a nation in retreat. And the enemies of freedom, they see an opportunity. Putin's brutal aggression in Europe has put our allies on the brink. Iran's terrorist proxies have slaughtered Israeli, Jews, and American citizens. They've targeted commercial shipping, and they've attacked our troops nearly 200 times since October, killing 3 U.S. soldiers and 2 Navy SEALs. Meanwhile, the Chinese Communist Party
soldiers
is
understand that
undercutting
happens.
America's workers. China is buying up our farmland, spying on our military installations, and spreading propaganda through the likes of TikTok. You see, the CCP knows that if it conquers the minds of our next generation,
There's some truth to that.
it conquers America. And what does President Biden do? Well, he bans TikTok for government employees, but creates an account for his own campaign. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up.
Hey, that's our show. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, that's true.
We all recall when presidents faced national security threats with strength and resolve. That seems like ancient history. Right now, our commander-in-chief is not in command. The free world deserves better than a dithering and diminished leader.
Wow.
America deserves leaders who recognize
Wow.
that secure borders, stable prices, safe streets, and a strong defense are actually the cornerstones of a great nation.
Wow.
Just ask yourself, are you better off now than you were 3 years ago?
Oh, whoa. What happened 4 years? 4 years ago. No. Use
No
4 years ago.
We're at a crossroads.
4.
And it doesn't have to be this way.
The saying is 4 years.
We all
Senator.
feel it.
Yeah,
But here's the
pandemic.
good news.
2020.
We, the
Much
people,
better
are
situation.
still in the driver's seat. We get to decide whether our future will grow brighter.
You sure about
or
that?
whether we'll settle for an America in decline.
Sure about that? Let's see.
Well,
Come
I know
November.
which choice our children deserve. And I know the choice the Republican Party is fighting for. We are the party of hard-working parents and families. And we want to give you and your children the opportunities to thrive. And we want families to grow. It's why we strongly support continued nationwide access to in vitro fertilization. We want to help loving moms and dads.
Wait a second. All right. I know this has been discussed up and down all around. But it's your Supreme Court Chief Justice in Alabama who made the ruling that caused IVF providers in Alabama to say, whoa, wait a second, we're not going to provide this service any longer because of a conservative Chief Justice ruling on personhood. Actually, it wasn't really a case about personhood, or if embryos were babies or whatever. It was, oh my God. Wow. And now, as of my understanding, only one of the 3 IVF providers in Alabama has continued this service. Y'all know what the hell you want, and you all don't even think of the consequences to your actions, you conservatives sometimes. And hey, and the liberals are right there too. But this, okay, Katie. Senator Katie Britt, please finish cleaning up.
Bring precious life into this world. Wesley and I believe there is no greater blessing in life than our children. And that's why tonight, I want to make a direct appeal to the parents out there, and in particular to my fellow moms, many of whom I know will be up tossing and turning at 2 a.m., wondering how you're going to be in 3 places at once and then somehow still get dinner on the table. First of all, we see you, we hear you, and we stand with you. I know
you're scary.
Frustrated. I know you're probably disgusted by most of what you see going on in Washington, and I'll be really honest with you.
That includes you,
You're not
Senator.
wrong for feeling that way.
That includes
Look,
you.
I get it. The task front of us isn't an easy one, but I can promise you one thing. It is worth it. So I am asking you, for the sake of your kids and your grandkids, get into the arena. Every generation has been called to do hard things. American greatness rests in the fact that we always answer that call. It's who we are. Never forget, we are steeped in the blood of patriots who overthrew the most powerful empire in.
Okay, I gotta stop there. Whoa. When we did our reaction video for You Can't Make This Shit Up, I told my team, stop the recording right there after the blood of patriots. Now, that is a significant dog whistle. Yeah, it is, to those patriots, like the ones who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Those patriots, like Elmer Stewart Rhodes. If you don't know who Elmer Stewart Rhodes is, look him up. As a matter of fact, Google Elmer Stewart Rhodes and the word sedition. Okay, do that. That is who she's referring to. Those patriots. Nice dog whistle, Senator Katie Britt.
In the world, we walk
Clown.
in the footsteps of pioneers who tamed the wild. We now carry forward the same flame of freedom as the liberators of an oppressed Europe. We continue to draw courage from those who bent the moral arc of the universe. And when we gaze upon the heavens, never forget that our DNA contains the same ingenuity that put man on the moon. America has been tested before, and every single time we've emerged unbowed and unbroken. Our history has been written with the grit of men and women who got knocked down. But we know their stories because they did not stay down. We are here because they stood back up. So now it's our turn, our moment to stand up and prove ourselves worthy of protecting the American dream. Together, we can reawaken the heroic spirit of a great nation. Because America, we don't just have a rendezvous with destiny. We take destiny's hand and we lead it. Our future starts around kitchen tables just like this.
Way to circle back.
With moms and dads just like you. And you are why I believe with every fiber of my being that despite the current state of our union, our best days are still ahead. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless these United States of America.
Wow. Okay, a lot to unpack, and I think I made most of my comments already. Shout out to the moms and dads, the families out there. But what are the Republicans doing? Because these last 4 years, all the things that are wrong with America did not happen in these last 4 years. It's happened over a generation or two. So for the rest of us who are out there busting our butts, out there living alone, working, not working, hopeful, hopeless, energized, or feeling ignored. What about the rest of us, Senator Britt? What conservatives, Republicans? Where's the hopeful vision? Where's the inspirational language? This, if the good senator from Alabama is auditioning for, some kind of show or talk show, God, God help you. More power to you. This is my second time seeing this time. I watched it all the way through past the blood of the Patriots. That's going to be a t-shirt. That's going to be a meme. Blood of the Patriots. But we know what that dog whistle's about. And there were other dog whistles in there. Families, moms, dads, all this other stuff. But the disrespect shown towards a president, and this has been on both sides, we're better than this, America. We are definitely better than this. And we should act like it. We should be civil. In closing, former President Donald J. Trump said that there will be a bloodbath if he's not elected and sworn in as the next president of these United States. Believe what he says because he means what he says, and he will follow through. And his surrogates will follow through. His allies will follow through. His fanatic base, MAGA, will follow through. I wish I could end this on an inspirational note. Best I could do at this point is say, make sure that you're registered to vote. Participate in your duty to engage, to learn. There's a lot ahead of us, and it may be melodramatic or hyperbole, but this is the most important election up and down the ballot in November. So choose wisely. Choose wisely. And if you choose to leave a comment, we will really, really appreciate it. We enjoy responding to our viewers and listeners' comments across all of our platforms. I definitely enjoy it because I respond to most of them. If you enjoy or don't, please share this content and the content of our other podcasts, The Morning Constitution, The David Washington Show, voila. Countertop Politics, remember, 5 minutes every Monday, or about 5 minutes, but 5 minutes every Monday of political innuendo, campaign know-how, and the secret sauce to winning strategies. And of course, again, our flagship podcast, You Can't Make This Shit Up, where, you get a perspective from both the conservative side and the liberal side. So again, thank you. Please like, share. We hope that you enjoyed this content. Wow. Again, I'm just very disappointed in the response by Senator Britt. It's excellent that they decided to choose her as given the rebuttal. However, man, for some reason, the past rebuttals by the opposing parties have been lackluster. Democrats, they've been okay. But the Republicans lately, y'all been shit. I mean, really, it's been shit. And all respect to Senator Britt, taking aside the theatrics, I like the fact, believe it or not, I did like the fact that, she was in her kitchen, but it looks so sterile. No kitchen looks like that. You see my kitchen, when I do Countertop Politics, and sometimes when I do this show. It just felt so sterile and not lived in. It was just too good looking, too sterile, too staged. But there's always next year. All right. So again, please like, share, and hit that notification button. This is the David Washington Show.